taking care. My sisters are doing the school, so I need to be quiet. But I just got my phone back. I haven't had it since Sunday. So yes, we're going to be doing another room tour because I've changed it. Open my door. Crime scene tape. That I got see his ears. Just go see him. He's having a fit, but here's our 6-toed cat. He caught a mouse yesterday. My sister started screaming, and they said there was a mouse in the hallway. So we're obviously like, whoa, there's a mouse, right? And so we go, and they're in like, Himmy is just sitting in there, and it was like slapping something. I was like, what is that? So hold on. We have a toy mouse filled with catnip that he loves that we got Saturday. Like, filled with catnip, so you can sort of see it. And there's a little bit of catnip. Like, he loves messing with it. I know he's having a nap. He has been up for a few minutes now. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm standing. So I'm like, probably just his toy mouse, right? Filled with catnip. Because you know how cats are with catnip. So, you love it? If you don't know what catnip is, it's a plant that makes cats happy, and it's like sort of like alcohol, if you know what that is. It does the same effect on children as it does adults. It just like beer just makes you sleepy, and it has sort of what catnip is for cats. They love it though. They're crazy about it. So and go over there, and there is a real mouse. Whoa. Everyone thought it was gonna die, but Himmy never killed the mouse. Oh, I'm right off. He never killed the mouse. Okay, just jumped off. He never killed the mouse. Like, my mom was freaked out. She was like, I'm gonna, it's so gross. And yeah. So, as you know, guys, it's supposed to be really cool winter here in Texas where I live. And like, that's great for us because here in Texas, it's never cold. Like, last winter, recording. Recording. What? Recording. I will. So it's a Monday, so it's Tuesday, school. So everyone's freaking out, like, there's a mouse in the house, so Himmy gets it in his mouth, and it's like trying to get it out, and he takes onto my bed. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to smell something rotting all night long. So my mom brings us the fireplace shovel, and I get it on it, and I take it outside and just put it in the front yard. And my mom goes out there later, and she's like, you never said you were going to put it, like, in the front yard. I said I put it in the front yard. And so she's like, well, it's dead. It's being cooked in the sun. A dead rat. I go out there, and I see it's breathing, and it's just doing good, just sitting there in the shade. I'm like, it's never really hurt me. But, like, right over here, it had lost some fur, and, like, all the way half up. My mom was like, it's alive, poor thing, and probably crushed its lungs. And I'm like, oh, I'm in tears, because I do hunt, but, like, an animal like that doesn't need to die, really should have died. You know, I suffered, and everyone's like, it's suffering, and my mom goes out there to put out of its misery, to go back in the head, and She goes out there to whack it, and it is there, breathing just fine. And I was like, Mama! And she's like, it's laughing too and great. And I was like, really? And I was like, go put it somewhere. And so she goes and puts it, and like then like all my tears are drying. I'm like, he's alive, because I didn't want a mouse that got to the house to die. I was like, can we keep it as a pet? And she's like, no, it has disease. That's what caused the Black Plague. I was like, fair point. And I was like, can we just take it to the vet and get like the disease removed or something from like fleas? She was like, do you remember just what happened? Just what had just happened like a few hours ago? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, him probably thought I had catnip in it. And I was like, that's why I never intentionally tried to kill it. So yeah. I need to do school. I need to do reading. I need to read a few pages of a book I'm doing for reading. It's Dollhouse of Murders. You gotta find the library here in town, and pretty much the backstory is this girl goes to her Aunt Claire's house. Her name is Amy, and she goes exploring in the attic, in the middle of the country, and she finds a dollhouse. So she finds the dolls, and her grandparents had died. And so she goes up there at the night after setting all the dolls at the table, and finds like all of them. When she goes up there that night, the dolls have moved, and her grandma is behind the parlor. So her parents were murdered. Her grandparents were murdered in her house, and pretty much are the dolls trying to tell her something, warning her. It comes with an audiobook, so once I finish the book, I'm going to listen to the audio. And she's like, everyone's freaking out, and the whole backstory on the back are the dolls trying to give her messages, trying to tell her something about her grandparents' murdered in their house in the bed, and they found her dad as a 5-year-old hiding in a closet after almost being kidnapped. So, like, really bad things have happened. Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, I have to go. It's been like 2 minutes telling you what my reading is, and I need to do stuff for it. I was just finding the book to read it, and I had to do it for reading. I was like, that's stupid. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.